The thing that impresses me about a serial killer, I'm sure there's tons of serial killers that we've never heard of and we never will hear of. They just did their thing and then died of old age and retired. You know what I mean? But then like that's almost not as cool. Like someone like the Zodiac who rubs it in the faces of law enforcement and sends those cryptographs or whatever and the puzzles, and they're taunting law enforcement for decades. That's pretty cool.
Zodiac sucked, dude. Zodiac was putting up like Babe Ruth style numbers. Try that today. Try that when like we have real tracking and technology and DNA and this and that. That guy would have got found so quick.
All right. Counterpoint: the DC sniper back in like 2002, Lee Boyd Malvo, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Those two jabronis, that was hardcore. They were just in your face all weekend long, just shooting white guys at Outback Steakhouses and rolling away. I don't remember how many they killed, maybe 15, maybe 20. They wounded a bunch too. But that whole gig they had where they were shooting out, they had tore out the seat so they were in their car and they would crawl into the boot of the car, into the trunk of the car, and then they would remove the tail light and shoot out through that hole with a scoped rifle and then just drive away. And the news reports were always a white van. We saw a white van, and so they're stopping. Yeah, they're stopping every one of those and just waving through the sedans, like not even bothering. Those guys went on a roll. They killed.
How long was that for? A couple weeks?
It was weeks that they were like terrorizing DC. Yeah, I remember we were talking about it at school, but it was. How old were you then? 10th grade.
10th grade. It was wild. 10th grade. In that, like, when things were getting hot, when this was a national news story, like running 24/7, they were still doing it. Like another one landed, and that would be my sign to cool off. Come back next year, but not them. They were in it for the love of the game.
They wanted to get caught. And I think I read their Wikipedia page once, and it was one of those instances where it's like the perpetrators, Alex Samuelson, new chosen name at time of killings, Mahmoud Babubadu, or like whatever. Like they went down that like black Islam.
Was it Muhammad Atta and Lee Boyd Malvo?
Muhammad Atta was 9/11.
Lee Boyd Malvo is an incredible name.
Lee Boyd Malvo was definitely one of them. So it was, if I remember correctly, it was like an older guy who was more of like a stepfather or like an uncle figure, and then a younger guy who was like late teens, early 20s.
It's John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. It's too many names.
Willing accomplice Lee Malvo.
Yeah.
I remember this. I was too young, but I remember it. I was 6 years old.
The gas stations had like fencing put up around them to hide people pumping gas, because that was one of the targets they were going after. They'd shoot people pumping the gas. People were afraid to pump gas.
Coworkers were so amazed by that. They're like, "What a country! Only in America would they think to like put up tarps to get a competitive advantage against the other gas stations to make you more attractive for avoiding the DC sniper.
Sniper free here at Stitgo.
We cost a penny more per gallon, but a fewer lines of sights from potential.
You will get shot in the throat here.
Woody, you were the oldest and like the most adult following it. What did they just like really dislike white people or dislike America? Like, what was their big to do?
I don't remember. I can look it up real quick.
Or was it a religious thing? In my head, I thought it was some sort of religious thing that they were taking out.
So the key motive was Muhammad's desire to kill his second ex-wife, Mildred, who he felt had estranged him from his children. The other shootings were believed to be a way to cover up this specific motive. Holy shit. This was all about killing his ex-wife. This feeds right into what we were talking about before. This is how you kill your wife. You shoot her, and then you shoot 14 unrelated people at Outback Steakhouses and gas stations in the.
I mean, this guy was. What's the saying? Like, thou doth protest too much. Like,
I put the wife somewhere in the middle. Not first, not last. Right.
Oh. That's good.
Wow.
That's good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
We're coming up with solutions here. Ways that we'd optimize. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Who would go for 17 additional people? The younger guy had to at some point be like, boss, they're off the trail. Like, we gotta cut and run because this isn't gonna pan out. And he's like, no. I bet that's what it was. That was his eventual explanation, or maybe it started out that way, but you don't just shoot 17 people because you're not loving it. Like that guy did it and he was like, ooh, this is for me.
They were taking turns, I think. I think maybe they were taking turns firing the shots. It's been a long time ago. That one was crazy to me.
Obviously, it's evil, but it's got to be a rush, right? Murdering people.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's what all the killers say.
But how can you kill a random person? That I don't understand. Like, I can understand being mad at somebody or protecting yourself or any number of reasons. But
just random murder,
random people seem so awful. Yeah,
I'm capable of judging them immediately. They're not random anymore.
Look at this slob.
Yeah, right.
Fucking
this guy tucks his shirt
backwards
in
cap. What year is it? It's after Labor Day, you scum.
He's got too much white on.
Yeah. Fucking Giants fan. All right.
Yeah. Now you're talking Cowboys.
Yeah, that's awful. But that was a real serial killer to me because it was so brazen, and it seemed like they were getting off on the media attention, because that's the kind of serial killer you see in movies, is the one who like feeds off that media attention and like plays into it. That's fascinating to me, rather than someone who's just kind of like Dexter trying to stay in the shadows and just get their rocks off killing people.
Mm-hmm.
You never hear about any vigilantes, like any real ones. My theory behind that is that it happens occasionally, and the news media hushes it up to prevent any sort of copycat type thing.
You guys are too young for Bernard Getz. Do you remember that?
Was he the subway shooter guy?
Did he shoot people or did he use a screwdriver? I'm not sure anymore. Somehow I have in my head he had a Phillips head.
Yeah, I confuse his story with the fictional story of Paul Creasy from what's the fucking movie?
He got mugged, and the dude, I don't know if he got beat up in the mugging or if he just got robbed, but it didn't sit well with him. He needed to, like, in some Karate Kid kind of way, get centered again, and how he wasn't a victim. So he would just troll, making himself look like the best possible victim, wishing a motherfucker would FAFO, right? And he did. And then the community was kind of split. Like, it was in Philadelphia. Some people were like, this guy's great. Every mugger should worry that there's another Bernard Getz out there. And other people were like, this isn't how we do justice.
Yeah, I was thinking of Death Wish. I was looking up to see if that was based on your guy's real world thing. It doesn't say it is here, but Death Wish is very similar. His wife and daughter are raped by like a gang, and the police are completely ineffective. And then coincidentally, his boss sends him away to Texas to get his mind off things and do an architecture job down there for some Texas oil man. And the oil man and him like really bond. And the old man's like, I put a little something in your luggage, little gift for when you get back home. And when he gets back home, he opens his luggage and there's a pistol in there. And he takes that pistol and he starts like just going around town cleaning things up. He just gets on the subway and sits there and waits for somebody to bother him. And he got the gun ready.
Death Wish was 10 years before Bernard Getz. So it could be based the other way. And he did have a gun. He killed 4 people. 4 black teenagers he killed. Allegedly were going to mug him. I don't know.
Bad optics these days, huh?
Yeah. Well, he
got to shoot a white one too, mix it up a little.
Right. To prove you're not racist. That makes sense.
Yeah, that'd be a fun. Like he's just out there every night looking for that white criminal to shoot so that he doesn't look like he's a racist. He's like, I really am just trying to clean the streets, but
where are those guys from I'm trying to find those guys from the ADT commercials.
He's trying to make himself vulnerable to a white collar crime.
Yeah.
Some guy charges him too much on his mortgage.
Oh yeah, those ADT commercials are funny. It's like some 55-year-old white guy with bifocals on is breaking into your house. And it's like it's just so funny because they were so specific with the casting there. Because if someone in that little marketing agency was like, hey, we could use this guy. We've used him in a lot of commercials. He did great with the Plavix commercial, Jamal. And they're like, yeah, we love Jamal, but maybe not. No, maybe not this. Maybe not this role. We'll get him on another Plavix spot.
Not sure about those optics,
Yeah.
What about Emilio here? He did great for Taco Fun.
Oh, speaking